In the NBA, they have things called scheduled losses, which is basically applicable to the Padres today, who played Sunday Night Baseball, travel, and then Randy Vasquez just doesn't have it. And the Padres battled. They got back in this game. They had tying runs to the plate throughout the course of the final couple of innings, but they fall 6-4 in game one of this three-game series in Detroit. This is the first time they're really dealing with adversity. I think they've lost 4 of 6, 3 of 4. They're without Luis Ariz, at least for the next 5 games. They don't have Jackson Merrill on this trip. So this lineup looks nothing like what it looked like on opening day, which is only 3 weeks ago. And the Padres lose in Detroit. And we'll see if they can, get a game or more here against the Tigers in this series. So make your way in. Please subscribe here on Content for Padres fans, whether you're here live or on replay. Smash the like button for us. You can follow us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. We'll get your super chats if you want to weigh in, if you want to support the channel, if you want to control the direction of the conversation. Click the $ below the chat box. They actually led in this game. Vasquez just did not have it, Jim. I mean, we watched the entire outing of his while we were in the studio. 68 pitches, 2+ innings. He did not pitch effectively. They still somehow had chances in this game. Gavin Sheets hits a home run, but game one goes to Tigers 6-4 tonight, where Luis Ariz started his 7-day concussion protocol.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it was a scheduled loss. Now, the lineup for sure feels like that it was going to take a pretty good effort to win tonight, mainly from their pitching staff. But yeah, Randy did not have it at all. And that's surprising. I mean, surprising because he's pitched really well this year. But from the jump, once again, command off, wasn't throwing strikes, was getting hit around. And it's not the end of the world. I mean, you're going to expect these types of outings from Randy Vasquez. In no way do I expect Randy Vasquez to end the year with a 170 ERA or whatever it was, what he came into tonight's game with. No, he's going to have blow-ups, and his ERA is going to probably be around, 4-ish. And if it is around 4-ish, like a high 3s ERA, that's actually a really good year for Randy Vasquez. And I think a lot of people would take that if you told me that at the start of the season. So these things were going to happen. You just knew it. I think I go back to the first inning where the Padres have the bases loaded and 1 out. And this is where the depth of your team is now showing, right? In this particular instance, you have a rookie in Tirso Ornelas, who I'm high on. I like Tirso. I think that he has some upside, and I think that he's a much better option than Jason Hayward. Like, not even close, in my opinion. It's an upgrade over Hayward. But, we saw the strategy there from Montero. I don't know if it was on purpose, but still not throwing anything to Xander to hit, even though I don't, okay. But Xander gets on with the single, correct?
We singled, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of something different. But anyway,
yeah.
Xander gets on with a single. Okay, that's great. Bases loaded, 1 out. Tirso grounds into what could have been a double play, but it wasn't hit hard enough. Run scores out there, and then after that, you have Oscar Gonzalez and doesn't come through, and you only put 1 run on the board. So, like, in those moments there, bases loaded, 1 out, you're looking for more than just 1 run, is what my point is. And that's going to be difficult if the top of your lineup, gets on base, gets the bases loaded, and you're relying on guys like Tirso Ornelas and Tyler Wade and, Oscar Gonzalez to have those big hits there.
I would say kind of yes and no to that, because Detroit's 4 for 17 with men in scoring position in this game. And the Padres were 2 for 9. I don't think I think it's more on Vasquez, because you're asking so much of your bullpen. I think there's going to be a lot of times over the course of a season, you load the bases with 1 out and you score 1 run. That wasn't that didn't do them in.
No, I know, but still, yeah, I mean, those are instances where, like, you want to put more than just 1 run on the board.
Yeah, but I mean, there's going to be instances this year that don't score, bases loaded, 1 out, and you're still going to have to win some of those games.
I know, but like the thing is, in the first inning, they had the infield in. That just tells you what they thought about runs are going to be at a premium for them to score. They can't let this thing get out of hand because this offense right now, the way it's constructed with all the injuries they have, is not built to put up, 6-7 runs in a game.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I mean, this lineup is missing Luis Arise, Jackson Merrill. I mean, there's 4 regulars, arguably, Jake Cronenworth.
Okay.
Whatever you think about Jason Hayward, I mean, yeah, I mean, this lineup isn't near what it was. Yeah, we could get into the semantics of the infield in. I know I brought that up a couple of times here today. I think a lot of teams play infield in now a lot because, like, the math on it says that you should cut down runs no matter when it is. So take your chances with it. So I don't know what to say about other than the fact that, like, they had chances in this game. They really shouldn't have been in this game. I think Detroit had more chances than San Diego. Like, Detroit easily could have scored more than 6 runs in this game. And I think the Padres probably should have scored more than 4 runs probably in this game. They ran into an out of the bases after scoring their 4th run. Martin Maldonado hit into a double play. Like, they had opportunities in this game, not as many as Detroit. I mean, Detroit had 17 at bats with men in scoring position. That's an incredible number.
And they only put up 6 runs.
4 of 17.
All right.
I mean, so both teams struggled with men in scoring position. I think it's more like Randy Vasquez, and again, it's going to happen over the course of a year, but to go 2 innings, you're asking too much of your bullpen, which once again was really good and technically didn't allow a run because those runs were charged to Randy Vasquez when Gillespie came on. But obviously, if your starter goes 2 innings, your chances of winning are what in a major league season? 10%, maybe 15%. They're not good.
No, you're right. Yeah, no, I agree. I'm not putting this loss on the offense. They're very limited.
Yeah,
very limited. It's just while Randy has pitched well this year, the one thing in every start, just about, that's been an issue is his command.
I agree completely.
And it came back to bite him tonight.
Completely. I mean, you can't I don't even know. We were on the air and watching it play out. I don't even exactly remember how it all played out. I need to see, like, how many strikes did he throw compared to balls? It couldn't have been more than what? 55%, 60% of his pitches were strikes, would be my guess.
He threw 68. No, wait. How many pitches did he throw tonight?
I think he threw
68 pitches, 36 strikes.
Yeah, so 32 balls. So close to 50-50.
He's been doing that a lot. It's like 87 pitches, 44 strikes. Like,
right.
I mean, you got to start, honing in that command here. You got a 159 whip, my guy.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the whip is high. I mean, you look at a rotation.
And he's walked 17 batters, only struck out 9.
Yeah.
That's an awful ratio.
Yeah, he's not a hard thrower. I mean, he's got to pitch to contact. He avoids contact. That's what that tells me right there. He's trying to avoid contact where, truthfully, he's got to be pitching to some level of contact. And he got hit and he walked guys. And he just couldn't get out of any spot. I mean, 30 pitches in the first inning is what he threw. And then I don't know what he threw in the second, but 20-something. And then he was chased before there was an out in the third. So not a good outing. I think that you kind of feel now not having Darvish, if Vasquez is going to have a 50-50 strike to ball ratio and Kyle Hart is going to struggle pitching on the road, but they're going to need, if it's not Vasquez or Hart, it's going to have to be someone else. One of these guys is going to be in the rotation. Even if Darvish is healthy today, one of these guys is in your rotation. It's less exposing when it's 1 as opposed to 2. And to your point, Vasquez had been good enough. You've kind of gotten away with it, so to speak. So, and the thing is, they're not going to have Darvish anytime soon. So it's going to be a lot of Vasquez and Hart. It's going to be a lot of Vasquez and Hart.
Yeah, and they're not going to always have good outings, and we know that. But hold on, it's like freaking. Okay. Anyway, lock back in. There are going to be times when they're going to give you starts like they have where they go 6 innings, allow 1 run. And then there's going to be times when there are tonight. You're not going to be able to count on that consistency of 6 runs, 6 innings, 2 run type of outings all the time from these guys, like you can from Michael King or Dylan Cease when he's rolling. You're going to get 6 innings, 2 runs. You're going to get 4 innings, 5 runs. You're going to get 2 innings, 6 runs. You're going to get 5 innings, 1 run. Like that's just what a fourth and fifth starter is.
Yeah, 100%. Completely agree. Completely agree. And their lineup is going to be better than this, hopefully, throughout the course of the year. And again, this wasn't some pathetic offensive performance. I mean, you could have had a lineup like this and been shut out. It's not like Tatis is always going to produce. It's not like Machado is always going to produce. And they're asking a lot of Gavin Sheets, who continues to come through. Gavin Sheets has been one of their best players this season. That includes Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis Jr. I'm not overly concerned. They're 16-7. They're dealing with injuries. What are our expectations? I mean, I'm not saying just go in the tank here and wait for everyone to get healthy. That's not their expectation. But they were never going to play at this clip, as we've said a long time. And now they're not playing at that clip. And, they're coming back to earth a little bit, so to speak. They're still in good shape. I think most people would have taken 16-7 to start the year. Let's get to some of these super chats, guys. We appreciate you. Please subscribe here on Content for Padres fans. And thank you for the super chats. Click the dollar sign below the chat box. No Mama with the first super of the night saying, why don't we we're talking about Logan Gillespie, a starter. I mean, he hadn't pitched in 15 days. I don't think he's a better option than the veteran Kyle Hart, who had success last year in Korea, or Randy Vasquez, who they've kind of developed over the last 2 years and has started a good amount of games for them. I mean, maybe Jim, he makes starts at some point this year for the Padres. I don't know what other options they have, but I don't know if he's a better option than Randy Vasquez or Kyle Hart right now.
Yeah, you're going to need, I mean, this is not a start where you're like, get him out of this rotation. This is not. He came into the game with a 1.70 ERA.
Right.
His command has been bad, but still, a 1.70 ERA is a 1.70 ERA.
Mm-hmm.
He blew up tonight, and that's going to happen. It is just going to happen. And by no means am I sitting here being like, after one bad start, take him out of this rotation. Now, Kyle Hart, on the other hand, is a guy that he's going to have to pitch for his position in the rotation.
Right.
He's a guy that is going to have to put together a string of some good starts here, or else they're going to find a different option. They're just not going to let the leash run until, for Kyle Hart. They're just not. They're going to say, all right, there's going to be a point where if he's not pitching well, they're going to find another option. Same thing with Randy Vasquez. And up until tonight, he's been pitching pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
So after one bad start for Randy Vasquez, you're not taking him out of this rotation. But you get, 4 of the next 5 starts that are bad like this, then you might start saying, okay, we need to figure something out here.
Yeah, completely agree. I mean, I don't know who Randy Vasquez is going to be this year, but like you said, he's not the 1.79 guy, and he's probably not today. He's going to pitch to a 4 ERA. Is what's likely, and he's not going to be asked to go deep into games. He hasn't as of yet, and I don't think he will be. He's their 4th or 5th starter. They're going to hope to, be in games with him going 5 innings, and then rely on their bullpen in a tie game or with a lead. Hopefully, he can leave games tied or ahead, and then their bullpen's going to do the rest, because that's how good their bullpen is. Keaton, thank you for the super chat. He says Tyler Wade can't hit. Okay,
but he's pretty.
I get why Schulte loves him. Would you rather have X or Wade up with runners in scoring position? At least Wade can bunt them in. I mean, it is kind of funny that it's kind of ironic that Xander Bogaerts comes through with a man in scoring position and the run doesn't score. He hit the ball to the outfield. It wasn't even an infield hit.
I know.
And the run doesn't score from second base. That's not really on Xander. But yeah, 5 RBIs and 0 home runs. 23 games into the year? 23 games into the year, 5 RBIs. His last was April 8th, and he hasn't homered since. Happy New Year's.
Like last year. When is his last home run in a Padres?
You should look that up.
I'm going to look that up right now.
Yeah, look that up. I mean, I hope it was late in the year for his sake.
Can you imagine?
It's been
forever. All right, so he's got none this year, so I don't have to worry about that. All right, let's check here. I don't think he hit any in the postseason, if I recall.
Yeah, look at that real quick. I'd be surprised.
All right. His last home run, unless he hit one in the postseason. Did he hit one in the postseason? He hit one in game 2?
Against who?
The Braves?
Atlanta or LA?
Oh, he might have hit one in LA.
That's incredible.
I know. It was so amazing I missed it. Also, I think it was against the Dodgers. You're right. That big that blowout win in game 2.
Yeah, the blowout he did. It's solo home run, 1 for 4.
He also hit one on September 21st.
Okay, so his last actual home run was October 6th at Dodger Stadium in a 10-2 win.
But that just goes back to what I've been saying the last couple of weeks. They win majority of the time, not all the time, not 100%, but majority of the time in spite of Xander and not because of Xander. You know, it's great when they're winning games 10-2.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, guys has a home run. He goes 1 for 4 with a home run in like the 7th inning.
Did. Yeah, like, exactly. Yeah.
Like, what? But can Xander go 2 for 3 with a home run, a double, and 3 RBI in a game and the Padres win 3-1?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you see a lot of those from Tatis. You've seen those a lot from Manny Machado.
I mean, dude, he was 4 for 24 last postseason, by the way, with that home run.
He's blah. He's just very blah. And I'm like, and again, we say this, we don't want to turn this into Xander Bass.
I know, but it kind of is.
But the more time passes with Xander doing literally nothing impactful other than hitting some meaningless doubles to make his stats look pretty decent. Show up, dude. You know?
Yeah, I'm looking at, I know, I'm trying to find something to harp on. Like last year, I'm like, oh, maybe in September he was good last year. No, he wasn't. Like, I don't even know what I expect out of him anymore. I mean, at some point he's going to surprise us. You know what happened, Jim? This always happens. People be like, oh, Jim, you called out Xander. When are you going to apologize? He homered. Well, yeah, there's 162 games. Everyone homers. Freaking pitchers.
He'll run into a couple.
Yeah, I mean, he better. I mean, he better freaking hit 14 home runs. Because
he better hit 15 to 20.
14. Yeah, exactly. So, like, he better drive in 60 because he's hitting fourth.
Yeah, he's not 42. He's 32.
Exactly. I mean, it's his. The wheels shouldn't have completely fallen off.
You know, he had 11 home runs and 428 at bats last year. It's not like a crazy number.
No, it's a terribly low number. He didn't have a crazy number of at bats, to your point, because he was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But
still, he had 44 RBI.
He's homering every 40 ABs. Again, he's not here for his power, but man, you have no power. Like I'm going to say it every night, Jim, until he proves us wrong. I want him to do it because he has to have a 2 home run night at some point. Like, I'm not going to put up with 1 home run and he goes another 3 weeks without any power or RBIs. I mean, 5 RBIs is freaking crazy. It is freaking crazy.
And by the way, you know, if they win tomorrow night 7-2 and they're up 6-2 in the 7th inning and Xander hits a home run, I don't want to hear like, I mean, that's, again, you got to look at the games and what he has done in these games. That's why I go back to 2023 and I'm like, yo, if you are someone out there that thinks, and I haven't told it, you know, call this on Kevin because Kevin thinks he had a good season, but I'm like, dude, were you watching that season?
2023 sucked.
It was not a good year. You know how many stat padding moments he had that like didn't mean a damn thing?
Dude, September, he was like Shaq and Kobe.
Dude, September.
The problem is they were 17 games under 500.
Right. They're playing the White Sox every other day.
Let me look at his September because I just want, and this was completely meaningless. He had 416 that September with an 1125 OPS.
Right. He was incredible.
Okay. What did he do other than September? I'm going to tell you in a minute.
He sucked.
It wasn't good. If he hit 4 something in September, you know, what did he do until like when the season was actually on the line before the season was over? And I'm going to tell you what he did, and it could not have been great. So in his first year as a Padre before September, he hit 258 with a 720 OPS. That is Xander Bogaerts to a T.
Yeah.
And that's who he was until September. And that September was irrelevant. I'm sorry. It just was.
So relevant to the point where like I was so over that team. And I know we were doing wrap-up shows.
So bad, man.
But like I was like physically sick watching them play. I could not watch them play baseball in 2023 in September because it was so annoying how they all of a sudden, like when they were so far out of it in 2023, they just said, all right, now we're going to start winning. And they won every game. And it was so meaningless to the point where at the end of the year, you heard the propaganda people saying like, they only missed the postseason by 2 games. Like
they were over 500, Jim. Another Preller masterclass.
I know. Anyway, enough with that. But it's mostly talking about Xander. Like, you know, again, we will continue to say this. While there are injuries to this team. It cannot all be Manny and Tatis. You're going to need other guys to step up, and it's unfair to put the blame on guys like Gavin Sheets if he has an over 4 night, or Oscar Gonzalez, or Tirso Ornelas, okay, or Jose Iglesias. That is not fair to those guys. They are not the guys making $26 million a year. The guy that is making $26 million a year is Xander Bogaerts, and guess what? He's your cleanup hitter, okay? You need guys to step up. He was brought here for a reason, all right? It's not his fault that he got that big contract. It's not his fault that he signed that big contract. But guess what? You have responsibilities as a professional athlete once you sign that big contract, and he has not lived up to them whatsoever. You know, the loss tonight, there is no way I'm just putting this thing on Xander. It's just like we talked about it.
Culmination of 3 years.
Yeah, but it is turning into, the longer this goes on, okay, the more frustrating it gets. And I reached a frustration peak like middle of last year.
Well, I mean, I'll make this point. If Xander Bogaerts is another disappointing year, if this is the worst of his 3 years as a Padre, or even in between, and he drives in 47 and he homers 11 times and he hits 257 with a 709 OPS, they're going to have a long offseason thinking about what on earth their options are with Xander Bogaerts, who's got 8 years left in a deal and is owed $200 million. And I'm not saying they're going to cut him. He's not going to eat $200 million, but they're going to have to figure out what on earth to do with Xander Bogaerts, who can't play every day if he's disappointed you for 3 consecutive years. He's going to all of a sudden find it in 2026. That's the big year. Come on. Keaton, thank you for the super. He says, why not Campy at DH? He's had flashes in Major League Baseball. I think they're kind of like over Campy. Let him go hit 500 in AAA. If a catcher gets hurt, he's going to get called up. Otherwise, just get traded for cash or be the third catcher. That's how I think they're treating Luis Campusano. I think none of the numbers mean anything in AAA. He's going to have to prove it at the Major League level. I don't think he gets an opportunity. I mean, listen, dude, they've had like 5 position players go out, and he's not getting an opportunity. Now, they don't need a catcher. Could they use a DH? Sure. They love positional versatility, but I don't think they're overly concerned about Luis Campusano unless they need him.
You know, the thing with Martin Maldonado and Elias Diaz on this team is, in theory, it works, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. It's worked so far.
If they have Jackson Merrill and Jake Cronenworth and Luis Ariz in this lineup.
Yeah.
Because then whatever you get from these dudes is like literally gravy. You know,
right.
Now it's like it just makes the lineup even worse. It highlights the fact that Martin Maldonado is in the lineup when you don't have the 3 guys that I just named.
I agree. Listen,
so
I mean,
maybe, you know, Keaton makes a good point. Like with Merrill and Cronenworth and Ariz in the lineup, okay, you can convince me that Martin Maldonado and Elias Diaz are your best options. Do I like it? Not particularly, but defensively, if they can show what they've shown to start the year, like, okay. And then the rest of the lineup with Ariz and Merrill and Cronenworth in it, along with Toddy and Manny, those guys are hitting. You're not really looking too much at what, Diaz and Maldonado are doing offensively. But now with those guys out, their numbers stick out to you more. So with that,
but their numbers haven't even been that bad. Like,
I know they've been fine.
Yeah,
like it's fine. They're not hitting 4th like Xander. They're hitting 9th. Yeah. I get it.
And 240,
But maybe, if you're looking for some pop, you're looking for some offense, like Campy can, like, I don't know, he can catch games. I feel like we're viewing Campy here as like he doesn't know how to literally catch a baseball behind the plate. Like he caught a no-hitter last year. He caught what? How many games he catch last year? Like 60 almost. So like,
yeah, but isn't it telling that like you play your best
is.
baseball and the guy goes to AAA and he's not even on your postseason roster? I mean, they've told us what they think about him is the point. We might argue the merits of having offense for defense. I agree with that. I'll have that conversation all day long, but the Padres have made it clear what they prefer, and that is veteran, established game callers that can cut down run games.
Yep.
That's what they prefer.
Yep.
Now, we could argue that, but that's an organizational philosophy. So for Luis Campusano to get here, he's either A, got to hit like crazy, which he's done, or B, improve as a backstop, or have an injury. And I think he's going to probably take an injury.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe he breaks through because I'm sorry. Would you pull up? It's not. I mean, I would have signed it if iHeart's offering me $280 million. I'm in. It's not my job to go put. I mean, I can do my part, but if we don't have as good ratings as someone else, but they get. I mean, I signed the contract. They offered it to me. Like,
right.
It takes two to tango. What are we going to blame? I mean, it's not Eric Hosmer's fault. He made $144 million. They offered him that.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's got to perform. That's on him. It's not Xander Bogaerts' fault. He made $280 million. He's got to perform. He's going to have to live with that. But yeah, he didn't offer himself a contract. We would all take more money. Whatever job you have, you would take more to do it.
Right.
I mean, I would. That's how capitalism works. El Romy, thank you for the super. He says, how does the front office justify his contract? Well, I don't think they do. I mean, $280 million, 23 games in, not even a single home run, yet Rise S3. I mean, you're not going to base the $280 million on 23 games.
No.
I don't even want to do it off 2 years, Jim, but I'm going to have to do it off 3. There's no way you can have a bad third year. This isn't going to be like who are the awful deals in baseball? Like the freaking who's on the Angels who's never played, or Chris Bryant with the Rockies.
I got a bad deal for you, and he played in today's game. It's not Xander Bogaerts. Can you guess?
You got a bad deal for me, and he played in today's game, and it's not Xander Bogaerts.
Yep.
It's a Padre?
No.
Oh. You're going to tell me the Javi Baez deal.
Yep.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad deals out there.
That's an awful deal. He played center field today. Now, to his credit, this year, 59 at bats, he's got a 271 average. But, the contract that they gave him after 2021, I want to say it was
6 for 140.
What was it?
6 for 140.
Yeah, it's not to the level of Xander. 11. I was
going to say it's not Xander's contract. Xander's the worst.
It's still a bad contract.
It's a bad contract. Absolutely bad contract. And there's a number of them out there
in
baseball. What do? You kind of eat them until you.
Rodon.
I don't even know. You live with it until you cannot live with it is what you do. We're not there with Xander. Kevin Acee told us what I am saying, which is there have been internal conversations. They wouldn't say it publicly about Xander Bogaerts if he does not perform in 2025, what to do with 8 years left on his deal. And I could find that audio, but he said that. I'm not saying it. He said that. Doesn't mean it's going to necessarily be the case, but they're going to have to figure something out.
Imagine if he ends the year in 265 with a 740 OPS, 8 home runs and 46 RBI.
740. There's no guarantee he's got 740 OPS.
I'm just saying, because
that sounds high.
He's going to have 30 something doubles.
He might have more than that actually, but he doesn't even have a 740 OPS right now with his 8 doubles.
True.
So there's no guarantee that guy's getting a 740 OPS this year.
What does he have to have this year for you to feel like?
I don't know. How about an average season? If I took his 10 seasons and I took his 5th best year, that would be nice. But it's not going to happen.
So what if he has a replica? If he replicates 2023?
I mean, 790 OPS, I would take in a heartbeat right now because I don't see it.
Now, if Xander, say he has an identical type of remainder of the year of 2023. I would view this. What?
Wait, plays like September or plays like 2023?
No, plays he plays like shit. He plays average, right? In September, he goes off.
Yep.
Well, I could argue same numbers. I could argue that this season was infinitely better than 2023. Because I do feel right. Because I'd feel like this, he'd be helping actually the team win. And I do feel like this team is going to be in a position to be in the postseason come September. Can you do it when it matters? Can he show up when it matters? Because right now he has not shown up in 2.5 years when it matters the most. Not even close.
I disagree with this, Keaton. Thank you for the super. He says X is on the fast track to a Hosmer podcast, except he can't really speak that well, so Hosmer will end up actually adding more value to the squad. No, Xander's very well spoken.
He's
Xander's
very
very
articulate.
versatile, and Xander's very likable
Oh yeah.
off the field, and I do think he provides real value from like a clubhouse perspective. Clearly not $280 million, but like I'm telling you, if me and Jim are talking about this every single night for the last 3 years, there's no way the Padres aren't. There's no way, like in that clubhouse, everyone they know that he's got 5 RBIs. You know, like he's got to be pressing. He knows he hasn't homered this year. You know, all these things that we're talking about, everyone's aware of.
Yeah.
Like Luis Ariz, to someone's earlier point, has hit 3 home runs. Again, that's not the end all be all, but man,
No.
Bogarts hasn't hit one. Well, you're always thinking about when you're going to hit your first. So you got to be thinking about that. You put your head on the pillow. He's like, am I going to have any power? There's no way he hasn't thought about that.
No, for sure. He has not produced this year, and that's difficult when you're the cleanup hitter.
Right, like bat him 8th. Like I said, take pressure off him. They can't bat him 8th. If they bat him 8th now, who would be batting 6th, Jim? You know, like
who's batting 4th if you bat him 8th?
Nobody on this freaking team. Unfortunately, they got freaking whoever they called up today. Who'd they call up today?
They called up Mason McCoy.
I mean, there's just no options right now.
No.
Let's get back to it. We do want to thank our title sponsor, Mark Nimitz. If you have an insurance need, get in contact with Mark. Click that link in the description down below. He's a great insurance agent. You can take that from us. I have a homeowners and earthquake and life insurance policy through Mark, and he does auto, and he can save you time and money with your insurance. He really can. He's a terrific insurance agent, great service and communication. He's become a close friend to me and Jim. He's a diehard Padres fan, native San Diegan. So whatever he can help you with, he's going to save you money and time. And if you ever need him, like I needed him back in 2022, had to file a claim, he's going to save you even more time and more money. I mean, so much time and so much money. So if you need an insurance agent before you renew, get in contact. Click that link in the description down below. Mark's been with us since day one. If you support the channel, get free quotes online or by calling Mark. Click that link in the description down below.
Yeah, all his information is on that ticker, mnimitz@farmersagent.com. When you reach out to Mark, let him know that John and Jim from the Wrap-Up Show sent you.
Someone brought up a really good point here, Jane. Like, what does this AAA team look like? Has the AAA team won a game? Like, oh, who's on El Paso?
They're all
Because there have been so many call-ups.
That's a good point. I don't know.
I mean, they can't be good. There's no world where it matters.
Campy's definitely carrying the load down there.
Is he on historic pace down there?
He's like 12 home runs. No, he was like 5 or 6 or something like that.
I just don't really like take it into like account minor league numbers for guys that have been up. I mean, he's hitting 387 coming into tonight with a 1226 OPS, but guess what? He ain't touching that when he comes up.
No chance.
So, like, I mean, I root for him, and maybe we will see him. He'll probably play some type of role because the year is long, but I don't know. If they wanted him up, he'd be up, right? That's like kind of the adage. Like, if they wanted him, he'd be here. Is how I look at it.
Yeah, this kind of tells me, like, if they don't bring Campy up at all this season, man, are they praying that Ethan Salas is ready to go next year? Right?
True. Dude, now, if Campy's still down there in July, he will be traded as part of some just throwaway.
Probably.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't you think if he's down in July?
I agree with that. Yeah.
Probably.
Like, you got a guy that catcher, trade option. Now, I will say this. Let me just pull this up here. Small sample size, you could say, but I want you to guess what Ethan Salas is doing right now in Double-A.
I mean, 3 to 5 days ago, he was closer to 200 than 300. So I'm going to say he's hitting 221. I don't know the other numbers. I'll say he's hitting 221 with a 279 on base and a 359 slug.
In 10 games, 32 at bats, he is hitting 188 with a 544 OPS.
So what's his slug?
219. He has 1 double and no home runs.
Guess who goes from a top prospect to not a top prospect by doing that all year?
Ethan Salas.
Correct. Happens quick.
very
Now,
quick.
I'm not saying he's done that. To your point, 10 games is not 140. So
No.
10 is nothing. These guys have played 20 plus. But I mean, are you ever going to hit? Now, do you have to hit? Martin Maldonado's been in the big leagues for 15 years. But to be the top prospect in the organization that you gave all the money to, that you're saying the future of the franchise revolves around him, they're not. They have Merrill, they have Tatis. He's not the future of the franchise solely. But you'd like to think he would be an important piece. You have to hit.
Dude.
Now, not to say he'll play. Don't get me wrong. This guy's got a very good chance to spend probably a long time in the big leagues. That's just how it works with catchers. But is he going to hit for average and power in the big leagues? That is a big question mark. He may, but there's nothing we can say right now like, oh, John, you're crazy. He's young. He's definitely going to do it. He may, but he's going to have to prove it.
So I don't know how this turned into an Ethan Salas discussion, but like
we're talking Campy.
Right. But like, listen to these numbers the last couple of years. All right. So
yeah, I want his career numbers, truthfully.
All right. His career numbers in 187 games in the minors, 698 at bats. He has hit 221.
Okay.
With 652 OPS, 41 doubles, 13 home runs, 4 triples, which is cool.
He's still 18, right?
He is he's still 18.
Yeah, so, it's too early. It's probably too early.
But there will be conversations, getting back to the start of this, what we talked about, there will be conversations about Ethan Salas being on the big league roster next year.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's ridiculous. He could prove everybody wrong. He could be like Jackson Merrill, where he like didn't have really good minor league numbers, and he comes up and lights the world on fire. You know, that's what Jackson Merrill did, and credit to him. Guy's a freaking stud. But like, at least Jackson Merrill's numbers were not this. Like, they weren't even close to this. I mean, this is
why would he be up? Let's forecast it out. I like this game. Let's say he performs better. He will, right, over the course of the year. But let's say he hits 230. Let's just say it. Okay. And limited power because he's 18. And whatever his on base plus slugging is sub 700, like it has been for his career in the minor leagues. Again, he's a young player. We get it. How on earth could he even sniff the big leagues in 2026 if that were the case? Like, what role would he serve? Is he defensively ready to catch as a 19-year-old in the big leagues for this organization that very much prefers defense to offense right now? Is he going to cut down running games and call games from a big league staff as a 19-year-old? That seems overly optimistic. And then is he going to hold his weight offensively when he hasn't had a career OPS higher than 650? I think he's multiple years away.
So yeah, the question is, are the Padres willing, if defensively he is at a level that he could play in the big leagues, which I think by this time next year, I think that's a real possibility. I do think.
Is it? That's my question.
I do think defensively they view him as like miles ahead of his offense.
Okay.
Like his defense is miles ahead of his bat. Are they willing to just like kind of, I'm not say ruin this kid offensively, but like just say F it?
Just figure it out over years.
Yeah. Just rather have you figure it out at the big league level than try to figure it out at the minor league level. That's a scary thing to like do to a kid.
I'm just like, I guess the curiosity I have with Ethan Salas, and I've always said this, is why has there always been this rush with Salas? Like, why is he even in AA when he hasn't graduated single A? And why did he have to play full season baseball before anyone else at his age? And why does he have to be the youngest player in AA, which I think he is? Why?
Dude, he hit 206 last year in AA with a A ball, Fort Worth. He hit 206 with a 599 OPS.
Why can't he just graduate the level? Like, if I don't pass a test, why do I go to the next test? He didn't pass the A-ball test. Now, maybe he did defend. Like, why are we challenging him to reach the big leagues or to be the youngest player at AAA and AA because you gave him $5.6 million? Okay, you can't self-fulfill a prophecy.
Yeah, I'm with
Like,
you, man.
he's not a prophecy, he's a player. So, like, he's gonna have to prove it. I mean, there is gonna be a day, Jim.
Mhm.
Like, his prospect status is not gonna be what the Padres are gonna care about one day. He's gonna have to perform one day. That's what they're gonna care about.
I agree. I think he shouldn't hit the big leagues until he's at least 20 something years old, especially as a catcher. You show me the last catcher to reach the big leagues as young as Ethan Salas to like succeed.
Pop? It's been like 25 years probably, dude.
You know, yeah, it's Buster Posey came to the big leagues, I think, like 23.
And that's been a
And
while since he
uh,
debuted.
look at Pudge. He debuted very early, but it took him like 4 years to pop.
Right.
I'm with you. We are team wait on Salas, like wait on him, okay? Because you pay a lot of money to get this kid, and you put a lot of resources behind him, and you have talked him up big time. So just let him develop. And if he is not going to hit the minor league level, what tells you that he can hit at the big league level?
Yeah, and if Pudge in 88 games as a 19-year-old had a 630 OPS, why would anyone in the world think that Ethan Salas is capable of coming anywhere close to that when Pudge Rodriguez is regarded as one of the best players ever for his position? And he struggled as a 19 and 20 and 21-year-old. His first 800 OPS season in the big leagues, and this guy hit, was his 4th year in the big leagues. So, yeah, well, again, I don't know how concerned they are. I think they could continue to do what they've done. The Kyle Higashiokas, the Elias Diaz's, the Martin Maldonado. It's proved to be effective enough. They haven't had the best catchers in baseball. They've never had JT Realmuto in the last 5 years, but they've had the Aaron Nolas. Like it's worked enough for them to win at a good enough clip to play postseason baseball and win series in the postseason as well. So that's what I would do. I'd keep doing that until Ethan Salas is actually ready later this decade, which probably isn't to start next year. And by probably, I'd be utterly shocked if he was ready to start next year.
And it probably will be. He'll be at the big league level.
Probably. I'll probably start on opening day, bat 4th.
Yep.
Hit 2 grand slams. Guys, we will get back to the conversation. We do want to remind you about our friends over at Mova Globes. You can pick one of these up right now, and you can take 10% off with promo code PWS10. Click the link in the description down below. These are great products. This company is based in San Diego. These are officially licensed for all 30 teams, including the Padres. They spin automatically with natural or artificial light. This is an amazing gift idea for the baseball fan in your life, whether it's a Padres fan or a Yankees fan or anywhere in between. This is an amazing gift idea. They're available for all 30 teams. Click the link in the description down below and use promo code PWS10. Get 10% off. They have other globes as well, like planets. If you're into planets, we all live on one, for example. They have those as well. Did you know that, Jim? Jim fact. We live on a planet.
We're on a planet?
And it has living organisms. And there's another planet that has living stuff on it that nobody's talking about that we talked about like a week ago.
It's like KB12b. That was a great.
They still that.
It's a great
Does
name
Mova
for a
have
planet.
that? Mova should have the KB12b globe.
Did you know that planet is like 3 times the size of Earth?
I don't believe that.
Well, believe it because that's like what it is.
Is it water or like land?
I don't know.
Can you get property for cheaper than San Diego on KB12?
Yes, you can. Now it would take you. Let me hold on real quick. So it would take you. How long does it take to travel 1 light year? A year?
A light year.
How long is how many years would it take to travel 1 light year?
Do you have Google? Let's see.
Let me check.
Yeah, look that up. I think
how
it takes
long to travel 1 light year? I'm pretty sure it's like 1 year.
Well, that's a long time.
I know. Okay. Hold on. How long would it take to travel a light year? All right. So
1 year at the speed of light.
No,
but with current technology, it would take much longer.
With the speed, it says NASA's Juno spacecraft showcases incredible speed, hitting 165,000 miles per hour.
Okay.
Imagine Even at this fast pace, it would still take 2,958 years to cover a distance of 1 light year.
That's why I'm not worried about life on other planets. There could be something 1 light year away that would take us thousands of years to get to, and they could have like missiles and say, we hate you guys, but they're like 2,000 years away.
We have missiles and we hate you.
So why people get all enamored by 1,000 light years away, there's a panda and he's dancing around. Who cares? Let him dance around. I'm more worried about the freaking NL West.
The pandas.
It just doesn't.
I'm just wondering because like KB12 or whatever that planet's called is 124 light years away.
So that's tens of thousands of years with current technology. And all they have is like an organism, dude. They have like bacteria. Bacteria sucks. I'm not going to go 10,000 years to go see, oh, look, there's a piece of bacteria.
Yeah, but here's the thing. We're looking in the past, John.
I'm not.
That, right? No, when we see planets, we see them of what they look like in the past.
I don't think that's accurate.
That's 100% accurate.
I don't see planets. I see stars.
If something is, I think this is right. Hold on. I'm pretty confident that if like we are looking at something 1 light year away.
Yeah. It only takes a year.
I know. So it's 1 light year. So if we're looking at something that's 1 light year away, we're looking at something a year ago.
That's not that old.
But if we're looking at something that's 124 light years away, we're looking at something 124 years ago.
Well, how far is like really far? Is there anything that's like 20 million light years away?
Yes, there is. There's a lot of things that are that far away. And because of that, we're looking at shit that like happened 200 million years ago.
That's confusing. I'm more concerned about Salas.
There's parts of space where scientists believe that we could see like as the beginning of like the Big Bang because it goes back so far. Does that make sense to you?
No.
This is what happens when they lose 6-4, okay?
This is because of MOVA globes. This happens 3 times a year.
Right. Jim DeGrassi Tyson. The James Webb can see about 13 billion years ago. So 13 billion light years. Is that right? It does. So if the sun blew up at this very moment, we would be alive for 8 minutes and then we would die.
Well, that's a decent amount of time, though.
Do a lot of things in 8 minutes.
You could do the whole Padres schedule.
You can do it multiple times in 8 minutes.
I would say we'd get back to this conversation, maybe not tonight, but we will over the course of the season. If they lose like 4 straight, we're definitely getting to light years again. I promise you that.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't have strong opinions on like outer space because I'm not going, and it's not. I don't care about something a billion light years away. Real quick, I care about something hitting Earth, and if something hits Earth, I also don't want to hear about it because I can't stop that from happening. But that's way more relevant to me, an asteroid hitting Earth, than a dinosaur living 100 million light years away on planet 7YKL.
No, there's not dinosaurs. There's maybe like, I don't know, aliens.
What?
I don't know. Not dinosaurs.
Who cares? Aliens are aliens.
What if KB12 is having a discussion right now about like the like falafel Padres? Like they named their state like the falafels. I don't know.
What? Are you like high? That doesn't even make sense. Falafel Padres. There's no. I promise you this. In all the planets on the freaking whatever, there's no falafel Padres. You moron.
What if the falafel wrap-up show?
What? What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Keaton, thank you. Let's get back to Earth and the San Diego Padres, not the falafel Padres.
Are you high? So what
is wrong with you, dude? Everything was going normal until then. You went too far. I'm kidding. I'd rather see Campion DH than Joe or Uriel right now. He was a top 50 prospect a couple years ago because of his bat. Who cares about his ability to catch?
I agree with that. I'd much rather see.
You want to have 3 catchers then? We just want to DH.
That's the problem. Like, they're not going to have 3 catchers. They're just not going to do that unless they really believe in Campy's bat, which I don't think that, even though he's tearing the cover off the ball at El Paso, they're not going to be like, oh man, be our everyday DH until we, whatever.
Do this for me, wherever you are, live or on replay. Raise your hand if you believe in Campy's bat. Only 10% of you raised your hands. Be honest. You might be driving in the car. Jim's raising it slightly.
I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, they're freaking playing at 5,000 feet elevation in the Pacific Coast League. It's not overly relevant.
I could probably run into one. Probably not.
No chance of now.
Zero chance. Zero chance. Zero chance.
JD Gotcha, thank you. Says the Pandas 1 light year away can predict the future. Yeah. Is there 1 year ahead of us, you're saying?
What if KB12 or whatever the planet's called had talking pandas?
I love pandas.
I know you do. That's what I'm saying. What if they had talking? What if their entire existence, their entire race was of pandas, and they all talked, and they were cuddly, and they were smart, and they interacted with you?
Hold on.
All they wanted to do was cuddle. If you pull out a panda.
No, but hear me out. Let me just give me 1 second.
Okay.
Here's Earth, right?
Yeah.
How many of the spots on this thing have you been to? I'll speak for Jim. He's been to like 6.
I've been to a couple.
Yeah, this place is freaking massive. We could spend our whole lives here, which we will, and you're going to cover 1% of this.
That 1%'s a lot.
Exactly. So don't worry about KB12. Look at all this stuff we still have to see. I haven't seen any of this part. That ocean, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see that. Have you been?
No.
Exactly. I have. South Africa for my honeymoon. It was spectacular, but you get the point.
You went to South Africa for your honeymoon?
Yeah, I told you that 100 times, you moron.
Wait, say that again?
I've told you that 100 times, you moron.
I wasn't listening.
Exactly.
9.46 trillion kilometers. This measurement is used to express the huge distance between stars and galaxies, and it also implies looking back in time.
I don't need the more detailed breakdown. All right.
I like how it's like, how's Kolek doing in the minors?
How has he done?
Good question.
Because they might need him.
I am surprised that he didn't get us to start at the big league club out of spring training, and instead they chose Kyle Hart. And maybe we'll see Stephen Kolek here coming soon. I mean, that's a good question for Kevin. If Kyle Hart has a bad start here on Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday morning or whatever, I mean, how soon do they make the switch? And how soon do they go to Stephen Kolek?
Well, what's real? Because Kolek's got a 7.11 ERA
in the minors right now.
Yeah, everyone does. It's AAA.
That's true.
Like, you have one bad outing, you give up like 10 runs in 3 innings. The numbers there are so inflated. But I mean, I'm not bringing up a guy with a 7.11 ERA.
Nope.
And I don't think Mova Globe
has. They did that a couple years ago with Matty Waldron.
Did they?
Yeah, he had like a 12 ERA in the minors or something really bad. And they brought him up and he pitched well.
Oh yeah, they were like, the knuckle doesn't knuckle at elevation or something.
Yeah, no shit.
Didn't make any sense.
Right.
Guys, we can get back to it, but we do want to remind you about our friends over at Underdog Fantasy. You can play right now and you can win big. All you need to do is use promo code PADSWRAP. That's PADSWRAP. You're going to get a free gimme pick. That's like Luka Doncic higher than a half total point. Okay, if you use promo code PADSWRAP, click the link in the description down below. They're giving you a free pick. Anthony Edwards higher than a half point, right? It's going to happen. In addition, you're getting up to $1,000 in bonus cash. You get a 50% deposit match. It's their best offer ever. All you need to do is use promo code PADSWRAP. But like, for example, tomorrow, Lakers against I was going to call them the Twins, but the T-Wolves.
The Twins.
Luka higher than 30.5. Anthony Edwards higher than 25.5. Okay. Let's get over to baseball. How about the Padres? Toddy's homering tomorrow. I'm sorry. He's so due. It's been like a day.
It's been a day.
It's been a day. And then let's say Pavetta. I'll take higher than 6.5 strikeouts. Sure. Why not? You go 4 for 4 there. You're $10 on standard. Pays. Yeah, accept all updates. I don't know what's happening. Oh, yeah. That pays $244. So you go 4 for 4, $10 pays $244. If you flex it, which means you can get one wrong, you can still win up to $146.50. So that's how simple and easy It is. Okay. And they're giving you a free gimme pick. And the more plays you have, the more you can win. Let's say Jose Iglesias homers. Oh, then you're winning 250 times your money.
Jeez.
Okay. By going 5 for 5 in that equation. And your max entry multiplier has been reached because and now I'm winning $1,250.
Damn.
Actually, I'm winning $2,500 with $10. So anyway, use promo code PODSWRAP. That's PADSWRAP. Click that link in the description down below and play along.
Yeah, download the Underdog Fantasy app right now. Scan the QR code above my head right there. Use our promo code PODSWRAP, PADSWRAP. And when you start playing Underdog Fantasy, like John said, you can mix and match. You can go between baseball and basketball and hockey, and you can win big. But you have to use our promo code PWS10. Sorry, PODSWRAP. Mixed up my promo codes. PODSWRAP for Underdog Fantasy. PODSWRAP.
Click the link in the description down below.
Johnny asked a good question.
Yeah, sure.
He said, how many parsecs would it take to do the Kessel run?
I don't even know what that means.
Well, Johnny, if you were in the Millennium Falcon with Han Solo, it'd take you 12 parsecs.
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
JD Gotcha, thank you. Says old friend Brent Honeywell is still a free agent. Think somebody signs him. Dodgers don't win the World Series without him. Well, then I wish they didn't win the World Series. I don't have any Brent Honeywell deep thoughts. Do you, Jim?
No. There's not been a moment in my life that I've thought about Brent Honeywell unless I've actually seen Brent Honeywell on the mound pitching.
Yeah, I mean, last year had a 2.62 in 18 games. Okay. How about freaking old friend Drew Pomeranz? I told you he was traded to the Cubs today. He's pitching in AAA. He hasn't been in the big league since he was a Padre in 2021. Get him back.
One of the worst signings Preller's ever made.
No, I don't know about that, dude.
I said one of, not the worst. I said one of.
I mean, do a top 5
right now.
Yeah.
All right. Xander, Hosmer.
Is this in order?
Yeah. Xander, number 1. It's hard to say number 1 right now because there's still a lot of time left. But I mean, I'm reaching a point of I've seen enough. Like I've seen enough to determine type of thing. But Hosmer was also, he just never wanted to change. It was awful.
Mm-hmm.
So 1A, 1B. Pomeranz is definitely up there. This might piss some people off.
I know what you're going to say.
What?
You want to say 3, 2, 1 and say the name?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Musgrove.
Myers.
Oh.
Myers deal's not a good deal.
That's a bad deal as well. Yes.
You're right about that. Now, he was a quasi-beloved figure by the end, but he was a love-hate figure for years on end. And he played for a very good team his last year here. And he had some moments, don't get me wrong, but it was not a good deal.
It was not a good deal. No, they signed him to a deal that, great for Will Myers, and he turned into a beloved kind of like character at the end there, but they wanted him to be like the face of the franchise, and he was not about that. Like he did not want to be the face of the franchise, like at all.
I mean, 8 years here, 12.5 WAR, 134 home runs, 781 career OPS in San Diego. That's not awful, but he was not the face of a franchise.
And the only reason why
Jim
I said Joe,
deeper, you said Joe.
I said Joe just because ever since he signed his contract, he's been injured.
Yeah, it's not like his fault.
And no, it's not his fault. I'm not saying he's performed bad. He's actually performed pretty well when he's out there. Yeah. I mean, actually, he's performed really well when he's out there. I just am looking at best abilities or availability, and he's pitched under 100 innings the last 2 years, and he won't pitch at all this year.
Right.
And that's just because of injury, and that's just it's not a performance reason why it's a bad contract for Joe. It's he's not out there. He's not available for his team. That's why it makes it, you're wasting $20 million this year.
couple of people put in Clevenger, but that wasn't really
A long-term deal.
extending him a year off Tommy John. That wasn't even like a bad deal. That was just them keeping him, you know?
That's not a bad deal. No.
I mean, I wouldn't go as hard like I see Brian just put. I was thinking about this. Darvish, same thing, like best availability or like best abilities availability, and he's missed some time here. But man, when he's good, he's pretty good. You like I could argue right now, like you're gonna kind of need him. Like I think you need that real, like that. I hate to use this game as the example, like Game 5. Like I need some Darvish going like 6-7 innings against fierce lineups and keeping you in games.
He's done that. He's been great in the postseason for this team.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, I don't think I would put him in that category, but I really need to see him perform in postseason games, I think, this year, or, in meaningful games.
Yes, I know that ballpark, Pretzel. I'm very aware.
That was before the contract.
Before the contract.
Yeah.
He's had some great outings. I get that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Soto was not signed. He was traded
Not
for.
a contract. I mean, we probably covered the bases on that.
Again, it's.
You feel bad for saying Joe?
No, I don't feel bad. I feel bad that he's hurt. That's what I feel bad for. And I feel bad that, he's making $20 million in dead money this year. I mean, I don't feel bad he's making $20 million. I feel bad that like there's $20 million that just it's just gone. Right.
You think he bounces back? I mean, a lot of guys do after Tommy John, but like, do you think he's ever back to do you think he can replicate his best year in the big leagues again?
I mean,
maybe.
I think
his
best year was 2022.
That's a good point too. It's not like the Cronenworth extension is a freaking great deal either.
His best year probably was 2022, where he was an all-star that year. Now he got a contract in 2022, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Musgrove?
Like he signed in 2022 in the middle of that season.
Year, I think. Let's see.
When did he sign? I want to say it was 2022, like middle of that season.
Yeah, it was like mid to end, like hometown deal or something.
No, but I'm saying like what year did he sign? He signed 2022, right?
It was 2022 because his 5-year 100 kicked in 2023.
Right. So 3 seasons into his new contract, he misses a year because of Tommy John and 2 straight seasons under 100 innings pitched.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
That's why you're looking at the contract is not the greatest. And when he's been out there, he's been really good for this team. Really good.
Now, you could make this argument. I mean, yeah, maybe. I mean, that's fair to say, I think, today that the deals for Tatis and Merrill might be pretty team friendly in the end. We'll see.
Well, if Tatis can ever stay healthy and put a 4-year stretch.
Yeah. Although 340, dude, these days with what top end players are making, could look good.
Yep. Tatis has a 4-year stretch where he goes like MVP,
like
top 5 finish, and then like 4 straight all-star appearances. And he hits 40 home runs in 3 of the next 4 years. And the other year is like a 37 home run year. His contract will look like a steal.
Mm-hmm. And the Merrill thing should look good, should.
Hopefully, knock on wood.
Yeah. If he ever returns from a hamstring that's kept him out for a decade. No, I'm just kidding.
You come back and play baseball. I miss you.
Gosh, where have you been? Hey, Vay. All right. I think that'll do it for tonight, won't it?
Yeah. I think that'll do it.
All right. Support our partners. Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance. If you have an insurance need, get in contact with Mark. Click that link in the description down below. He's been with us since day one. Trust us. He will save you time and money. Humboldt Casino, thank you for your support of the channel. Mova Globes, use promo code PWS10. Get 10% off. Thank you, Mova, for the 20-minute tangent on light years. And Underdog Fantasy, use promo code PADSWRAP. That's PADSWRAP. And you'll get that free gimme pick and a 50% deposit match. What do we got tomorrow, Jim, in the big leagues?
In the big leagues, John? The big leagues?
Yeah.
3:40 first pitch, Padres Tigers. Good
Hold on, time out.
matchup. Nick
Time out.
Pivetta.
Do you want to talk about this for a second or no?
Dude. 100%.
100% you're going, or 100% you want to talk about it?
No, we're going. Now,
What do you mean we?
I'm going. We're going. You're coming with me.
Get me a credential.
That's the thing. We're getting credentialed. We're going to freaking Survivor Series at Petco. Now it is during Thanksgiving break, which is interesting.
Is it? That's weird.
It's on that Saturday of Thanksgiving break, which I think is awesome. Thursday, you got football. Friday, you got football. I think, right?
Yeah, I think that's right. Mm-hmm.
And then Saturday Survivor Series, bruh. Let's go. Echo? Dude.
What's the what's happening?
No clue.
No. Like, what are we surviving? What's the theme of what's the goal? How do you win? Is it like touchdowns, or like we pin people? Is it 10-on-1? Like, what is it? Is it wrestling?
Okay, goodbye, everybody.
No, seriously, because I'm dead serious. Like, how does Survivor Series compare to Monday Night Raw?
It's the name of the PLE.
Excuse me?
And they do a thing called War Games, John.